Hi, what's up guys? This is Darren from Fast Track Property, where I transform your lives and improve your destination, right? So today I'm very excited because I want to share with you some of my thoughts, and I've been reviewing it and I realized that a lot of people has always been talking about the same subject over and over again over the years, but nothing has been really acted upon. And the main thing was actually about retirement, isn't it? And many people talk about retirement. You know, you are supposed, please do not spend too much of your money today. You got to think of your golden age, right? And then try to keep out of debts, right? Do not anyhow spend money on trips. Do not spend money on the expensive car, but to just live within your means, because everyone is really worried about how are they going to survive in their later years. It is such a big issue and concern that even our CPF board, right, had to come up with a type of platform for all of us so that our money are not anyhow used up personally, all right. Keep it there so that at age 65, we have the option to be able to use that money, even though it's a small amount, every single month just to survive, okay. So moving on, I just ask myself this question: why is it that there are so many of us that's actually not taking action, even though there are so many advertisements and so many gurus or sources out there telling us how important it is for us to build that nest egg? I think if you listen on the radio, they speak about this every other week, isn't it? Alright, so this is not going to be a motivational video, alright? This is something that I thought about, and I just wanted to share with you my thoughts on how I felt I was able to change the perspective. Hopefully this works out and you're able to understand what I'm trying to say and what I'm coming from, and you're able to do that, all right? So if you like what you're going to listen later, all right, or you like what you're listening now, help me out by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel, all right? So without further ado, let's just move on. So I was watching this movie Looper during this circuit breaker, all right? And this movie is starring Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and this show is actually about the younger Bruce Willis speaking, or rather meeting his older self, all right? And then how this whole action show, what happens to the end and the conclusion, and it kind of just hit me, and I just felt, hey, this is quite interesting, right? So before I did this video, I was going out there, speaking to my associates, speaking to my customers, and asking them, does this make sense? And if I were to deliver it in this way, like what you're going to witness in a short while, are you able to receive it properly, right? So anyway, here goes. So the whole idea was actually for anyone right now, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever age you are today, presently, all right, to be able to kind of be able to speak to your younger self, all right. So take for example, I am 39 years old, and I'm going to speak to my younger self who's actually 24 years old, isn't it? All right. So this is my younger self, as you can see, right? So this is how I look like when I was 15 years ago, okay? All right, and just imagine today, if I look at my younger self, what would I want to say to him, right? That perhaps what he could have done 15 years ago, that my life would be definitely very, very different from the life I'm living now, all right? Could it be the missed opportunities that he didn't take? Could it be that crazy business venture that was so risky, even though there's so many people that advise him against it, but he still went ahead to do it? Or could it be that girl, or rather in some cases for the boy, that you didn't have the courage to meet up, to give a call, that your life would be very different today, right? So what are some of the possible regrets that you might have, you think you did, if you wanted to tell your younger self, that he could have taken, right? The risk he could have taken, or the property he shouldn't have bought because of emotional reasons, right? Is this making sense to you so far? Right? So now you're able to review that and ask yourself this question. Now, the next thing to really have an impact was then to understand why is it, I personally felt so difficult for many people to do what everyone's asking you to do, to save money, to invest, to take action now is so important for your future. It's because how many of us can really picture our future? Does that make sense? We can't, right? It is so difficult to speak to a stranger, someone who's going to be 15 years older. So for me, is 15 years older, I will be, say, coming to I'm 39, about 55, right? Plus, minus. Okay, but it's so difficult, and then I ask myself, and then if I don't do that, how am I supposed to be taking the effort to work towards that? I would rather, if I cannot see it, I would rather spend the money today, buy that fast car today, go on that trip today, and indulge in my life today, because I will always think that there is always time tomorrow, right? How many of you actually have the same feeling as me? I mean, I do make some mistakes too, isn't it, right? So then what I did was a little bit funny, and then what I did was that I then took on a face app, and I went around taking picture of myself, of my wife, all right? And it works perfectly for your wife and for myself, all right? But the whole issue is that when I did the same app with my children, I tell you, it was horrifying, because I couldn't bring them from a 5-year-old to a 20 years old, all right? What I got was a 5-year-old. They use the face and they blow it out to an 80-year-old person. So I was kind of freaked out, right? So if you don't do that on your children, right? I wanted to really imagine what my life I was going to be excited about, all right, when my children are in their 20s, and what I'm going to be excited about when my children, or rather when I am in my 55 years old, right? Because if I am not excited about it, guys, I am not going to sacrifice my time today to plan for that journey, because there is nothing exciting, right? So this is what I did. Take a look. There he is. Okay, so this is me. All right. I don't know what age this is, but this is a face app you could download. There's many over there. I tried a few, right? So this is what I'm going to look like. This is what my wife is going to look like. All right, you can see it over here, right? So now let's just take her away right now, and then okay. So this is me, right? So I ask myself now, what do you think if today I had that chance to speak to my older self? What do you think my older self would want to tell me today? Is this making sense to you? What type of lifestyle is this older me wanting to have for himself at age 55? All right? What type of life does he envision to have? Does he still want to drive? Does he want to be comfortable? Does he still want to go on trips? All right? Or does he want to go and be able to provide for his children, right? Which is my children, right? And these are the things I want to have a dialogue with. I know it's very difficult. That's why I did this up, to look at myself, all right? And I ask myself, what do you think this person is going to ask me to do that could change his life 15 years later? Or what mistakes am I going to continue to make? So I know that he is just going to turn around and scold me for not taking the necessary action, all right? So I think this really makes sense for me when I look at it, all right? And I just felt in me that it actually does help me a little bit in that fashion. So that's why I put this on my phone, on my desktop, to just kind of have a reminder, right? But it's very easy to just put it aside, and after a while you just forget about it. Okay, so when I spoke to some of my customers about that, they say, "Hey Darren, wow, this is just insane. I never thought of it that way." I said, "Yeah, please try it," because I just felt that through my many numerous Zoom sessions that I had during this circuit breaker, there are a lot of people who are just so scared, all right, and not willing to take the plunge, or even though I've made a almost fantastic plan for them, and I felt that this is something that I think they have a choice, of course, not to take action, but perhaps they didn't know what could be the possible missed opportunities if they miss this round of the every cycle of the property, right? So this message is just to you to be able to just reevaluate your life right now, all right? Your past, your present, and a possible future. That the most important that you can see in your mind, okay, is being excited about, all right? If you're married, all right, with your spouse, what type of excitement do you want to have to spend the rest of your golden years with your partner, all right? Again, if you have a family, all right, what type of life you think you're able to provide for your children when they're in their early 20s or mid 20s, to even if they have an idea, for example, to be given $100,000, all right, or whatever amount that you can envision in mind for them to start a business, all right? For I personally think that if my parents had did that, all right, many years ago, I think my life would be very different now. Of course, this is how you also bring up your children, right? Okay, so this is just something that I personally value very much. It might not be the same values as what you have in your life, but I hope that it is still around what I feel it is supposed to be, okay? And for even if you're single out there, if you wanted to make a difference in someone's life, or even for your life in your later years, all right? I hope this video reaches out to you. If you like it, please share it with someone where it makes sense to them, all right? And then, again, hit the like button to help me out because of the YouTube algorithm. It really helps everyone to be able to watch this video and subscribe to the channel. All right? If not, then speak to you soon, and God bless.